It's Friday. It's time once again for our weekly transformation conversations. This is episode 3, and the subject we're dealing with this week is cloud computing just outsourcing with a new label. So, Scott, it seems to me that cloud computing is just like outsourcing without the need for a physical server. Is that a correct view?
Hi, Joe. Happy Friday. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that back. It's been another great week here. Cloud services outsourcing. So there are varying service models and deployment methods in cloud computing, and they provide a customer with different levels of control, flexibility, and management. From an industry standpoint, right, there are 3 main service models of cloud computing. We've heard them all before. There's infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service.
So let's focus on the SaaS or software as a service model, Scott. How is that different from a traditional application service provider?
So an application service provider, we used to ASPs, right? It's a business providing computer-based services to customers over a network, such as access to a particular software application, maybe a CRM system using standard protocols such as HTTPS, hypertext transfer protocol, but secure with SSL certificates. The software as a service it's more of a distribution model, if you will, in which a cloud provider hosts applications, makes them available to end users over the internet. In this model, an independent software vendor, they can contract a third-party provider, cloud provider, to host the application.
Okay, so there's a lot of similarities there. And I know from a pricing standpoint, obviously it's a lower cost of entry and it's more geared towards individual users rather than enterprise level solutions. Would you agree with that?
I would. I would also say what the biggest driver from a transformation standpoint from an ASP model into more of a cloud model has been virtualization, right? So, at first you had your time sharing, and then you got into more of the ASP model. As hardware was cheaper, it was easier to run. Take the pizza box, slide it into the rack, and there you were up and running after you plug your network cables in. Well, that got to be onerous insofar as all of the physical space that was required. And of course, as more and more people started using these online services, we wound up the need to virtualize. In other words, the need to have multiple operating systems on one set of hardware, it became very evident. Fast forward now, you have all of these service type providers, and virtualization has really been the driving force behind all of that.
Okay, that makes sense. So again, we're removing the need for one physical data center location for physical servers. So I get that. So what other benefits are there to cloud computing?
Well, it's a lower cost of entry, period, right? If I don't have to be switching out disk drives, right? It's economies of scale. When you have these cloud providers such as Amazon, Google, and whatnot, and they're providing this level of infrastructure, they can, because we're all out there doing the computing, they can be swapping in and out disk drives and some of these physical hardware pieces that, don't always, they break, right? So, first of all, it's easier for us to get up and running with a lower cost of entry, which, of course, that enables us to pass on some of those savings to our customers. There's also better collaboration, and there's also more standardization in the industry itself. And what I mean by that is when it comes to things like compliance and security, in most cases, these problems have already been solved. And it's more just being compliant to some of these processes, and also being able to ease of access and ease to collaborate, have some of these third parties to come in, check your infrastructure, make sure that you're, checking all the boxes, and also being able to rapidly deploy for zero-day exploits and those types of things. So it goes without saying, the innovation is there. And The innovation goes there because I'm less worried about the infrastructure and setting up the network and all of these other things. And I'm more focused on the business problem as a software developer, as a provider of these types of services. So instead of having to worry about, well, what's this routing? You know, I got to take care of this BGP route, or I've got to take care of how the RAID array is going to be set up. I've got a computing environment by which I can focus on a domain problem, write my code, test the code, and it's out in a production-ready environment.
Okay, so obviously more innovation as a result, better economies of scale, lower cost of entry, more of a virtual environment rather than in physical servers and a single physical location, which I suspect would improve business continuity as well. So you don't have to have multiple data center sites as we have in the past. So all in all, it sounds like while there are a lot of similarities, that cloud-based computing, while sharing some similar attributes to outsourcing, really takes it further and provides a lot more benefits.
Absolutely.
Okay, so with that, I think we'll wrap it up for today. We'll look forward to episode 4 next week. Thanks everyone for listening, and please do subscribe to the blog so we can let you know when we have new subjects in mind. And please let us know if there's something you'd like for us to address. You can simply send an email to info@prolificbanking.com. Thanks again for listening, and have a great day.